The fittest people you know didn't get lucky with genetics. Most of them weren't athletes in college. Most of them weren't lean as teenagers. Most started 30 pounds overweight, with a body they didn't recognize in the mirror and a knee that cracked when they bent down to tie a shoe. They did one thing 95% of people who join a gym in January will never do. They came back for the second workout. Your problem isn't motivation. Your problem isn't your metabolism. Your problem isn't your busy schedule. Your problem isn't your age. Your problem is that the math of your body has been compounding silently for 4 years in the wrong direction, and you haven't done the calculation yet. You haven't gained 25 pounds. You've gained 6 pounds a year for 4 years while doing absolutely nothing different. You haven't gotten out of shape. You've trained your body for 9 hours a day in a chair to be exactly what it is now. Here's the math nobody runs. The average American at 30 has 28% body fat, blood pressure climbing 2 points a year, and a resting heart rate of 76. The average disciplined trainee at 35, 5 years from now, has 11% body fat, blood pressure of 118/72, and a resting heart rate of 54. Same 5 years, 2 completely different bodies. This is your life at every level of getting in shape. From the first workout you almost skipped, to the morning you pick up your grandchild at 70 without thinking about your knee. It starts with one workout, and a decision big enough to flip the trajectory of every year you have left. Level 1. The sedentary trap. You are 30 years old, and you are not unhealthy. That is what you tell yourself. You don't smoke. You drink. Socially. You don't have a diagnosis. Your annual physical comes back, within normal range, each year, technically. Your weight has crept up to 215 pounds, about 25 above where you were in college. But you wear it well, your friends say. Your job pays you to sit. Your car drives you to your job. Your elevator takes you to your floor. Your couch holds you in the evening. By every metric you have been taught to measure failure, you are not failing. This is exactly the problem. The knee cracks first on a Tuesday morning, when you bend down to pick up the car keys you dropped in the kitchen. Not a small crack. A loud one. The kind that makes you pause and listen, half expecting it to crack again. It doesn't. But it doesn't have to. 3 weeks later, at your annual physical, the nurse reads the numbers. Blood pressure, 138/88. Cholesterol, high. Body fat estimate, 28%. She says nothing alarming. She says, "You're trending up a couple of points each year." Up where? You ask. She smiles, like a person who has had this conversation 1,000 times. In 10 years, she says, this becomes pre-diabetic. In 15, it becomes a problem you can't reverse without a prescription. You have time. You don't have unlimited time. You sit with that for a long time. In the parking lot, you pull up the math on your phone. You haven't gained 25 pounds. You have gained 6 pounds a year for 4 years while doing absolutely nothing different, compounding the wrong way, quietly, without any single Tuesday morning where you decided to. The thought arrives at the steering wheel. It lasts 4 seconds before the other thoughts arrive. Gym is expensive. I don't have time. I'll start after this project. After Christmas. After New Year's. You have said that for 4 years. That coworker who finished a half marathon at 35, he started at 30. Same salary, same desk, same office, same starting line, different decision. The gap between the body that picks up keys without cracking and the body that picks up keys with a warning has a name. It is called the sedentary trap. And 76% of American adults are feeding it tonight, while the math that could change their final 30 years sits on the other side of a single decision they will not make. Level 2. The first workout. You set the alarm for 6:30 a.m. on a Sunday. You almost cancel it twice. Saturday evening at 9 p.m. and again at 11 p.m. When you remember how you feel at 6:30 a.m., you don't cancel. You put on the gym clothes you bought last year that still have the tags attached. You drive to the cheapest gym you can find. You hand over a credit card and a signature. You walk in. You have no plan. You don't know the equipment. You don't have a trainer. You did not watch a YouTube video. You walk to the treadmill. You set the speed to 4.5 miles per hour. You hit start. 7 minutes in, you are breathing through your mouth like you have just sprinted up 4 flights of stairs. The man on the treadmill next to you, 65 years old, fit, calm, is walking at 5 miles per hour. He is reading the news on a tablet. He has not broken a sweat. You feel the heat in your face that is not from the cardio. You almost get off. You don't get off. You walk 13 more minutes at 4.5. When the treadmill stops, you read the screen. 20 minutes, 2,847 steps, 165 calories burned. 20 minutes of doing the easiest thing in the gym, and 165 calories. You sit on a bench for a long time before standing. You realize something on the drive home. Before today, your body was a vehicle. It carried your head to the office and back. It existed in the chair where you worked and the couch where you collapsed. Today, your body became something else. It became something that can be trained. 48 hours later, you are sore in places you did not know had names. Your quadriceps, your calves, the base of your back, muscles you didn't know existed, are speaking back. You go to the gym anyway on Wednesday morning. The first workout proved your body can be trained. The second workout, taken while still sore, proved your decision was not an accident. The question is no longer whether you can start. The question is, what happens if you don't stop? Level 3. The consistency habit. You build a schedule before motivation can fade. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m. Regardless, the gym clothes go on the bedroom chair the night before, laces undone. Coffee maker set for 5:55. Phone alarm 5:30. Backup alarm 5:35. Decision made once a week. Executed 3 times automatically. You make one rule. If you don't want to go, you still go. You can leave after 5 minutes, but you must walk through the door. You never leave after 5 minutes. Month 1. 12 workouts. You weigh 213. Down 2 pounds. You measure your waist on the same Sunday each week. Down half an inch. The scale moves slower than the tape measure. The tape measure is telling the truth. Month 3. You catch the flu. 8 days flat on the couch. Sleep, water, soup, Netflix. Day 9. You go back to the gym. Day 9 feels like week 1. Your lungs are smaller. The treadmill at 4.5 feels like 6. You almost cry on the rowing machine, not from emotion but from realizing how much you lost. You did not lose what you think you lost. You lost 8 days of cardio adaptation. You did not lose 12 weeks of identity. By the end of week 3, you are past where you were before you got sick. Then comes the plateau. 6 weeks. Same workout, same effort, same diet. Scale shows 199, then 199, then 198, then 199 again. Every wellness account online is selling you something new. Carnivore, keto, 18-6, cold plunges, supplements you cannot pronounce. You don't switch. Week 7. Scale shows 196, 3 pounds in 5 days. Not because you changed anything. Because the body had been making the change for 6 weeks underneath, invisibly, and chose to release it now. The body is not linear. It accumulates in silence and discloses in jumps. Month 6. 72 workouts. 195 pounds. Down 20. Body fat 22%. You can run 3 miles without stopping. A coworker stops you in the hall and asks if you have been working out. You don't answer because you don't know how to say, "I just stopped quitting." The difference between the people who get in shape and the people who don't is not willpower. It is structure. And structure is just a system you do not interrupt. Level 4. The crossing. You do not become an athlete on a dramatic morning. You become one on a Saturday in September, when you put on the suit you wore to your friend's wedding 3 years ago, and the shoulders fall. Not metaphorically, literally. The shoulder seams sit 2 inches below your shoulder bone. The pants hang at the waist like a curtain. The jacket has 8 inches of slack across the chest. You walk to the tailor on Monday morning. The tailor measures you in silence for 15 seconds. Then he looks up. You've lost about 30 pounds, yes? You say yes. He nods. How long? You say 9 months. He writes the new measurements down. You will need new clothes, not just alterations. The frame underneath is different now. You walk to your car. You sit in the driver's seat for 11 minutes before starting the engine. It is not about the suit. It is about what the tailor said. The frame underneath is different now. You have 3 conversations that month. A mentor, 15 years in the gym, 55 years old, looks 40. You ask one question. What do you wish you had known earlier? He thinks. Then he says, you're not training for next week. You're not training for wedding photos. You're training for the body you want to live inside when you are 70. Lift weights to keep muscle when you are old. Run zone 2 cardio so your heart works when you are 60. Everything you do now is a deposit against the next 40 years. You write that down. Your sports doctor, 20 minutes on a Friday. Recovery is half the work. Sleep 8 hours. Stretch after every session. Take a true rest day every week. The people who get hurt are not the lazy ones. They are the obsessive ones who never let the body repair. Your partner, over Sunday breakfast. You do not ask permission. You set a number together. A 10K race in 6 months. You add yoga once a week. You add zone 2 cardio twice. You start compound lifts, squats, deadlifts, presses, heavier each month. You stop saying, I'm trying to lose weight. You start saying, I train. And athletes do not chase the scale. They chase the body they want to live inside at 70. Level 5. The first discipline beyond workouts. Year 2. You weigh 178 pounds. Body fat, 14%. You can run a 6-mile loop at conversation pace. You bench your own body weight. You squat 1.5 times. By every visible metric, you have arrived. You have also stalled. For the last 4 months, the scale has not moved. Body fat has not moved. Strength has crept up 2 pounds a month at best. You added a 5th workout day, then a 6th. Both reduced your performance instead of improving it. You realize, on a Sunday morning at the kitchen table, what nobody at the gym ever told you. Workout is 1/5 of fitness. The other 4 pieces, nutrition, sleep, stress management, recovery, you have been ignoring entirely. You eat what is convenient. You sleep when you are tired. You absorb stress like it is air. You take rest days only when injured. You have been pushing one lever harder while 4 others stay completely still. You make 4 changes in 14 days. Macros, tracked for 30 days. 180 grams of protein. 200 grams of carbs. 40 grams of fat. Weighed, photographed, logged. Sleep tracker on the bedside table. Lights out at 10:30. Phone in the kitchen overnight. 10 minutes of meditation each morning between coffee and workout. Not to be enlightened, to drop cortisol. Sauna twice a week. 1 real rest day. Walking only. Month 1. You fail the macros on 14 of 30 days. You almost quit the tracking. Then you remember a phrase from a book you read in year 1. Failure is data, not identity. You don't quit. You adjust. By month 3, macros are automatic. You can eyeball a meal within 5%. Sleep score averages 88. Cortisol drops measurably. Your body changes more in 3 months of system change than it did in the entire previous year of effort. You stop being the person who works out. You become the person who manages a body. The fittest people in the world do not train the most. They manage the integrated system best. Workout, food, sleep, stress, recovery, each piece supports the others. Removing one collapses all 5. This is the moment you stop calling yourself someone who exercises. You become an athlete in the full sense. Not the first workout, not the crossing. This. Level 6. Athletic Prime. Year 5. You are 35 years old. You sit at the same kitchen table where the dropped car keys first cracked your knee and pull up the Master Health spreadsheet, the one you have updated every Sunday morning for 1,825 days. Weight, 175 pounds. Body fat, 11%. Deadlift personal record, 405 pounds. 5K time, 22 minutes. VO2 max, 52. Rated, excellent, for your age. Blood pressure, 118/72. Resting heart rate, 54. Average sleep score, 88. 5 years ago, these numbers were almost their inverse. You stop looking at the screen and look at your reflection in the kitchen window. You do not recognize the body from year zero. The body from year zero is gone, but the change you stopped measuring is the one that matters most. You take the stairs to your apartment 2 at a time without thinking. You played with your nephew on the floor for an hour last weekend and stood up effortlessly. You hiked Kilimanjaro with your family last spring. No special training, just your regular routine, slightly extended. Your father, who is 67 and pre-diabetic, asked you how you did it. You do not have a single answer that fits in a sentence. You take a 14-day business trip in March. No gym, hotel restaurants, every meal. You return home expecting damage. Weight, stable, body fat, up 0.3%. Cardio capacity, unchanged. The system held without effort, because the system became identity. You realize what nobody told you when your knee cracked at 30. Fitness was never about how you look. It was about what your body can still do. A message arrives on a Wednesday afternoon from someone 7 years younger than you. He writes, "I just did my first workout, 20 minutes on the treadmill. Almost gave up. What do I do next?" You read it for a long time. Then you write back from the same kitchen table where it all started. Go for the second workout. Next Wednesday. Especially if you are still sore. The second one is the test. The first one proves you can start. The second one proves you will not stop. Everything after that is just time, doing its job. You hit send. Then you do the only thing left to do. You stand up from the kitchen table, walk to the front door, and go for a run on a Tuesday morning, because you can. Coda. Somewhere tonight, a 30-year-old is sitting on the kitchen floor, holding a set of car keys, listening to the knee that just cracked when they bent down to pick them up. The thought will last 4 seconds. Then the fears. The gym is expensive. The I don't have time. The I'll start after this project. The after Christmas. The after the New Year. The practiced logic of someone who has confused waiting with planning, who thinks the next Monday will fix it, who believes the problem is motivation instead of decision. Most of the time, the thought disappears. But sometimes, someone sets the alarm for 6:30 a.m. on a Sunday they were planning to sleep in. Sometimes, someone walks 20 minutes on a treadmill at 4.5 miles per hour, while a 5-year-old jogs past them and stays on the treadmill anyway. Sometimes, the soreness on day 3 becomes the second workout on day 4. Sometimes, 8 days of flu does not erase 12 weeks of cardio adaptation, and someone returns to the gym on day 9 instead of starting over. Sometimes, the tailor says, "You've lost about 30 pounds, yes," and the new measurements don't match the old. Sometimes, someone stops training one variable and starts managing the integrated system: workout, food, sleep, stress, recovery. Sometimes, someone hikes Kilimanjaro without any special training because the system became the body. The first workout proves your body can be trained. The second workout proves your decision was not an accident. The system proves the body became identity. The day you pick up your grandchild at 70 proves the body became an asset. The system is the body. And the body, trained patiently, fed correctly, rested fully, managed for years, turns out to be more durable than any motivation that requires inspiration, more durable than any January resolution that requires a fresh calendar, more durable than any fitness app that requires a notification, more durable than any version of you that traded today's body for tomorrow's apology. It started with one workout you almost skipped, and a decision big enough to flip the trajectory of every year you have left. Start with the second workout.